inflation fell. Your grocery bill didn't. In 2025, overall inflation dropped below 3%. Food prices kept climbing, 2.5%, and another 2.5% projected for 2026. The crisis is supposedly over, but the receipt in your pocket tells a different story. And the reason has nothing to do with supply chains, nothing to do with the pandemic, and nothing to do with what you've been told. Your grocery bill isn't going back down. Not next year. Not ever. And by the end of this video, you'll understand the 4 systems that made sure of it. Here's the thing nobody explains about inflation. When economists say inflation is falling, they don't mean prices are falling. They mean prices are rising slower. That's it. The word deflation, actual prices dropping, almost never happens in a modern economy. And in the grocery industry, it has never happened at meaningful scale in your lifetime. There's a term economists use for this: downward price rigidity. Prices go up easily. They almost never come back down. And there's a more vivid version that researchers have been studying since the 1980s. They call it rockets and feathers. When input costs rise, fuel, grain, labor, packaging, retail prices shoot up like a rocket, immediately. But when those same costs fall, prices drift down like a feather. Slowly, partially, sometimes not at all. This isn't a theory. This is one of the most replicated findings in pricing economics. It's been documented in fuel, in dairy, in bread, in meat. The pattern is always the same. The cost goes up, the price follows. The cost goes back down, the price stays. And in the grocery industry, there are 4 specific reasons this keeps happening. 4 systems that lock prices in place even after the original excuse for raising them disappears. System 1. The manufacturer margin lock. Here's what most people get wrong about grocery prices. They blame the grocery store. But grocery stores operate on some of the thinnest profit margins in all of retail, 1.5% to 2% net. That margin actually fell almost 50% between 2020 and 2024. Your local grocery store is not the one getting rich off your receipt. The companies getting rich are the ones whose names are on the boxes. Procter Gamble. Net profit margin, 19.3%. Mondelez, the company that makes Oreos, Cadbury, and Ritz crackers, grew gross profit to $14.2 billion in 2024. Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, Kellogg's. During the exact years that consumers were struggling with rising food costs, these companies held earnings calls where executives openly discussed their ability to push through price increases and keep them. The collective gross margin of Procter & Gamble, Mondelez, Kellogg's, and Coca-Cola increased over 1.5% in a single year. On their revenue base, that's billions of dollars. Not because their costs went up by that much, because they discovered something. Consumers absorbed the price increases. Sales volume dipped slightly. Mondelez saw a 1% decline. But revenue and profit still grew. The math worked. And once a manufacturer proves it can raise prices without losing meaningful market share, there is zero financial incentive to lower them. Ever. The earnings call doesn't reward generosity. Wall Street rewards margin expansion. So the prices stay. System 2. The invisible shrink. If you can't raise the price, shrink the product. In 2025, the average shrinkflation across major national grocery brands was 14.8%. That means the product you're buying is almost 15% smaller than it was, for the same price. And 75% of Americans have noticed. Charmin Ultra Soft dropped 16 sheets per roll, from 224 to 208. A brand of powdered drink mix cut its pack from 6 packets to 4. That's a 50% reduction. Cliff bars went from a 12-pack to a 10-pack. Same price, same shelf space, less product. The Bureau of Labor Statistics found that snacks, candy, and household paper products have been hit hardest. But it's everywhere. Toothpaste tubes lost 10% of their volume. Shampoo bottles shrank by almost a full ounce. Laundry detergent dropped from 100 fluid ounces to 92. And here's the mechanism that makes shrinkflation permanent. Once a manufacturer redesigns the packaging, retools the production line, and ships the new size, that's it. The old size is gone. The infrastructure changed. They're not going back to the old format because the new format is more profitable and the capital investment is already made. A typical family buying 20 affected products per month is now getting 8 to 12% less product for the same spending. That's a shadow price increase that never shows up in the inflation data. The Consumer Price Index measures the price of the product. It doesn't always catch the size of it. System 3. The consolidation trap. 25 years ago, there were roughly 1/3 more grocery stores in America than there are today. 76 counties now have 0 grocery stores, and the industry keeps consolidating. In 2022, Kroger announced a $24.6 billion merger with Albertsons, the biggest supermarket deal in history. If completed, it would create a chain with 5,000 stores across 48 states. Combined with Walmart and Costco, 3 companies would control roughly 70% of the national retail food market. The FTC sued to block it, and the evidence they cited is worth understanding. When Kroger acquired stores in Topeka, Kansas in an earlier merger, prices in those markets rose up to 7.7%. The FTC found that in over 100 cities and towns across 16 states, the Kroger-Albertsons merger would increase market concentration to levels they considered illegal. Here's how consolidation locks in high prices. When there are fewer competitors, each remaining company has less incentive to undercut on price. You don't need to collude. You just need to watch what the other 2 players are charging and stay in range. Economists call this tacit coordination. Nobody agrees to anything. Everyone benefits. And in small communities, places like Fort Smith, Arkansas, or Muskogee, Oklahoma, the effect is even worse. When there are only 2 grocery stores in town, and one of them gets acquired, the surviving store has no competitive pressure at all. More stores closing, more mergers, fewer choices. And every time competition shrinks, the floor under prices rises. It doesn't come back down because there's nobody left to push it down. System 4. The tariff ceiling. This is the newest layer, and it's the one most people haven't priced in yet. Nearly 75% of all U.S. food imports are now affected by tariffs. The Tax Foundation estimates the current tariff structure costs the average American household over $1,600 per year in real income, and the full impact hasn't even hit grocery shelves yet. Industry analysts say tariff-driven cost increases typically lag 12 to 18 months. That means the tariffs imposed in 2025 will fully arrive on your receipt in mid to late 2026. If the current course holds, food brands and grocery retailers will need to raise prices again, not because of inflation, but because of trade policy. And some categories can't be substituted domestically. The U.S. doesn't grow bananas. Coffee imports face a 50% tariff on Brazilian beans, up to 25% on Mexican produce. These aren't products where a domestic competitor can step in and undercut the import price. The tariff just becomes the new floor. Some exemptions have been issued. Beef, fruits, spices. Coffee got partial relief. But tariffs still apply to more than half of imported food products. And here's the compounding problem. Every tariff increase gets absorbed into the price, and once it's in, rockets and feathers kicks in. The tariff could be repealed tomorrow, and the shelf price would take years to reflect it, if it ever does. So, 4 systems. Manufacturer margins that Wall Street rewards for going up and punishes for going down. Shrinkflation that restructures the product itself, so the old price-to-quantity ratio disappears permanently. Industry consolidation that eliminates the competitive pressure needed to force prices lower. And a tariff structure that's still rising through the supply chain with a 12 to 18-month delay. None of these systems require a conspiracy. None of them require anyone to break the law. They just need to exist in the same economy at the same time, and they all push in the same direction. Inflation can fall to 0. It wouldn't matter. Your grocery bill is locked in by structural forces that have nothing to do with the inflation rate. The receipt in your pocket isn't a snapshot of what things cost right now. It's the new floor. And floors, in economics, almost never drop. If this changed how you see your grocery bill, subscribe. Hidden Economics reveals the systems behind your everyday costs, the ones nobody explains until it's too late. Watch this next